Imagine losing your arm in an accident and watching it slowly grow back before your eyes. First, the pain fades. Then the wound seals. Within days, a soft new layer appears. Not a scar, but a beginning. Sounds impossible, right? But for some creatures, this is completely normal. Lizards, salamanders, and even starfish can regrow lost body parts again and again. So, what would happen if humans could do the same? What if our bodies could rebuild themselves, no matter the injury? Stay till the end, because this power could make us immortal, or end humanity as we know it. When a lizard loses its tail, its body doesn't panic. It starts a hidden process. Cells near the wound transform, turning back into something like stem cells, the building blocks of life. These cells gather into a small mound called a blastema. From that single lump, new tissue begins to grow: nerves, skin, bone, and muscle, all perfectly rebuilt. Within a few weeks, the tail is back, just as it was before. Nature already has the secret. We simply lost it along the way. Humans actually do have traces of this power. Our liver can regrow up to 70% of itself. Our skin heals and renews constantly. And young children have, in rare cases, regrown the tips of lost fingers. So why can't we do more? Because evolution made a choice. Rapid cell growth makes regeneration possible, but it also makes cancer possible. The faster cells divide, the greater the chance of a deadly mutation. So, millions of years ago, our ancestors traded regeneration for stability. We gained longer, safer lives, but lost the power to fully rebuild ourselves. In a way, we chose survival over perfection. But today, scientists are trying to take that power back. In research labs, they're experimenting with gene editing and stem cells to reactivate dormant repair mechanisms. At Harvard, mice have been made to regrow tissue that was once impossible to restore. At Stanford, researchers triggered regeneration by sending small electric pulses into damaged limbs, copying the signals used by salamanders. Imagine a future hospital where a patient with a lost hand doesn't need a transplant. Doctors inject a coded virus containing new instructions for the body. Those instructions tell cells to rebuild, piece by piece, everything that was lost. In weeks, veins reconnect. Bones reform. Muscles weave back together. A new hand appears, not robotic, not fake, but your own. But this kind of power is dangerous. If your cells forget when to stop, they'll keep dividing forever. And that's the definition of cancer. Regeneration could save your life, or create a disease that kills you from the inside. Still, think about the possibilities. Soldiers who lose limbs in war could walk again. Burn victims could grow new skin. People needing transplants could grow fresh organs directly inside their bodies. Even aging might slow down. Every time your cells renew, they become younger versions of themselves. Wrinkles could fade. Organs could stay strong. You could look 25 forever. But immortality is never free. If we never aged, if our bodies never failed, would we still value life the same way? Would danger mean anything if we knew we could heal no matter what? Pain teaches us caution. Scars remind us of lessons. They tell us we're human. If we remove them all, what are we left with? And what if this power wasn't available to everyone? Imagine a world where only the rich could afford full regeneration. The wealthy would never die, while the poor would still live and die as always. It would divide humanity into two species, the repaired and the forgotten. And there's another danger: mutation. In experiments with amphibians, regeneration sometimes goes wrong. Extra limbs grow. Eyes form where they shouldn't. Nerves twist in strange directions. Now imagine that happening to a human body. A person who heals endlessly but imperfectly. A body that keeps rebuilding but never stops changing. That's not healing. That's horror. But let's say scientists perfect the process. No mistakes, no mutations. Then, what happens next? We wouldn't just be humans anymore. We'd be self-healing organisms, almost immortal. We could survive injuries, radiation, maybe even the harshness of space. We could live for hundreds of years, watching the world evolve while we stay the same. Diseases would disappear. Hospitals would transform into regeneration centers. Doctors would no longer fix us. They'd simply press reset. But in gaining all that power, would we lose what it means to live? If no wound lasts, if no scar remains, if no end ever comes, what gives life its meaning? Maybe nature understood something we still don't. Maybe the reason we can regrow limbs isn't a flaw, it is a boundary meant to protect us. Because every scar, every mark, every sign of healing is proof that we fought, that we survived, and that we grew stronger. So, what if humans could regrow lost limbs like lizards? We might cure pain, defeat aging, and rewrite evolution itself. But maybe, in the process, we'd lose the most human thing of all, our limits. Sometimes it's not our perfection that defines us. It's our ability to live beautifully, even when we're broken. Would you still want that power? If it meant losing what makes you human,